Caldwell from the Uptown String Band. I live in Parkland, Pennsylvania. I went to Neshaminy High School, and I own Adaptive Living Solutions. I really like to thank my family for support for all the 36 years I've been in Mummery. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. And they have a new digs, a new firehouse at Uptown at Parkland, having spent a long time in Humeville, and they're doing quite well in the new location. Very excited about it. Stop, Drop, and Drum Roll is their theme title, so they're using a little bit of a fire-related theme in this, Jake.
Well, they're using it. They've made a humorous theme out of it when they got bingo games and getting cats out of trees. I mean, it's a very fun-filled fire theme. Nobody gets burned.
So Engine 9, they're calling it the Uptown Fire Company, hook and ladder, and look at that bingo tonight. They don't miss a trick, do they?
No, they don't. No, they don't. And Jamie, of course, is back as captain after missing 6 years as captain, and now all of a sudden he's back. Ryan Radcliffe had been captain, and he's back playing instruments. So, and he's also the drill master. So, how much can he ask someone to do?
And Ryan
works so hard for this band.
He's the everyman of that band.
Yes, he is.
Jamie did absolutely great job every year that he's ever been captain. But Brian Radcliffe, he just was a gentleman. He stepped down. He played saxophone last year because they needed somebody, and he's a gentleman. He's a real nice gentleman.
That's right. I think it was either last year or the year before when he was going to be captain, and they were short a saxophone, and he said, "No, I'll play the sax. Get someone else up there to be captain," and that's what they did.
That's exactly. You're right.
You got to have your ego down low to be able to pull that off, because to walk away from being a string band captain, that takes a lot.
Well, they get roughly 4 minutes to 4.5 minutes. Some take the full 4:29, and others take closer to 4. Yeah. Sometimes even a little bit less, like 3:55. But it's usually in that 4 to 4:20 range.
As long as they're not longer than 4.5, they're okay.
Well, what's amazing is the music, and when we get a chance, Jake, at our next break, if we have an opportunity to show some of the music that Avalon just played. Yeah. And let you talk about that. Okay. We have a shot of the music sheet, but for right now, we're getting to watch Uptown String Band, and there are several tunes in this. I mean, this is how fast-paced everything moves. I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, Fireball by Pitbull, Hot Tamale Man, Bullets Over Broadway, Tiger Rag, Tijuana Taxi, Great Balls of Fire, Hot Time in the Old Town, Night on Bald Mountain, A Saber Dance, and an excerpt from Too Darn Hot and Kiss Me Kate, Jump, Jive, and Wail, just all kinds of music in here. So here we go. The Uptown String Band and Captain Jamie Caldwell as the final dancers get into position and move the prop exactly where they want it. The 7th band of 2016. down the fire pole and up the order of finish. That is Uptown String Band with Captain Jamie Caldwell. And stop, drop, and drum roll. Jake.
Well, I saw something musically that I have never seen before. When I first heard the violin fiddle solo, I couldn't imagine how they got that much volume out of one violin until I learned that all the banjo players are using fiddle bows on their banjo. So they turn the banjos into violins. Never saw that, never saw it done before. Very effective.
And Jamie did an outstanding job as usual, and he should be proud. Should be proud that he did such a great job. He always does a nice job. My wife Susan thinks he's the world's greatest because he does everything correctly. He does a nice job.
And his son was dressed up as a girl, as one of the bingo dancers.
And did you notice the fire plugs? They stayed perfectly still for a long period of time until they came to life. And congratulations to Patrick Rossi, who's the Rookie of the Year in Uptown String Band. Well, listen, before we go to a quick break here and while we wait for Aqua to come in, I mentioned earlier, Jake, that Avalon had some complex music. And take a look at your monitor. We have a shot there and a couple of shots of the music. Talk about it. Well,
a lot of people think it's easy to play string band music. So I asked Avalon to give me their lead alto part, which is the part I used to play. I'm glad I didn't have to play that. And you can see how difficult it is. If you can read music, I mean, this stuff is done with 4 sharps. In fact, there they were. And you realize how hard this music is to play. Now, I could have pulled the lead sheet from a lot of bands and shown you this. I happen to just pick my